The wind moved across the dry plains of Pakistan like a ghost sweeping over forgotten bones. Heat shimmered above the cracked earth. The Indus River rolled onward in silence, as it had for thousands upon thousands of years, carrying secrets older than empires. In 1922, a group of archaeologists stood beneath the blazing sun and stared at a mound of broken bricks. At first glance, it looked ordinary, just another ruin, just another dead city swallowed by time. But beneath their feet rested the remains of one of the most mysterious civilizations in human history. A civilization so advanced that its streets were cleaner than many cities thousands of years later. A civilization with indoor plumbing before Rome even existed. A civilization that traded with Mesopotamia, engineered massive urban centers, and then vanished so completely that the world forgot its name. Today, we call it the Indus Valley Civilization, but the people who lived there called it something else, and for over 4,000 years, the river kept their story hidden, until now. The dawn rose slowly over Mohenjo-Daro. The city awakened before the sun fully climbed into the sky. Water carriers moved through narrow lanes carrying clay jars against their shoulders. Merchants unlocked wooden shutters. Bakers fed fresh fuel into clay ovens. Smoke drifted upward in soft gray spirals while dogs wandered between brick homes. Far above the streets, birds circled through the pale orange sky. A boy named Ashar sat on the rooftop of his family home, watching the city breathe itself awake. He was 12 years old enough to work, old enough to understand responsibility, old enough to recognize fear when he saw it in adults. And lately, he had begun to see fear everywhere. His father emerged from the stairwell carrying a basket of carved stone beads. "Come," his father said quietly. Ashar climbed to his feet. From the rooftop, the city stretched endlessly across the plain. Perfect streets, straight roads, rows of red brick buildings arranged with astonishing precision. Public wells stood at regular intervals. Covered drainage systems ran beneath the roads. Every home seemed connected to a carefully engineered network designed to move water and waste away from the city. It was a masterpiece of urban planning, and Ashar had grown up believing it would last forever. Most people did. The people of the Indus believed in order. Everything in their world followed patterns: the flooding river, the movement of trade caravans, the arrival of ships, the measuring of grain, the baking of bricks. Even their cities reflected mathematical consistency. Their standardized bricks were nearly identical across hundreds of miles. Their weights followed precise systems. Their streets aligned with remarkable accuracy. It was as though the civilization itself had been built like a machine. Yet lately, the machine had begun to tremble. Ashar followed his father down the stairs and into the street. Morning crowds filled the marketplace. Copper merchants arranged tools on cloth mats. Potters displayed painted ceramics decorated with black geometric symbols. Jewelers sold beads made from carnelian and lapis lazuli brought from distant lands. Far away, beyond deserts and mountains, merchants in Mesopotamia knew these cities well. Ancient Sumerian records spoke of a distant trading partner called Meluha. Historians now believe Meluha may have been the Indus civilization. Ships crossed the Arabian Sea carrying timber, cotton, ivory, beads, and precious stones. The world was connected long before most people imagine, and Mohenjo-Daro stood near the center of it. Ashar loved the marketplace. He loved the noise, the shouting, the smell of bread and spices, the sight of foreign traders wearing strange clothing and speaking unfamiliar languages. But today, something felt wrong.
The crowd seemed thinner, the voices quieter. A group of men argued beside a grain storage platform. Ashar's father lowered his voice. "The river is changing again." Ashar looked toward the distant waters. The Indus River gave life to everything around them. Without it, the civilization would never have existed. Each year, the river flooded surrounding lands, leaving behind rich soil perfect for farming. Wheat, barley, peas, sesame, cotton. The Indus people were among the earliest cotton producers on Earth. While much of the ancient world still relied heavily on animal skins and wool, the people here were weaving cotton textiles thousands of years ago. But rivers are alive, and living things change, sometimes slowly, sometimes violently. Over generations, the Indus had begun shifting course. Some settlements lost water, others drowned beneath catastrophic floods. Entire regions became unstable, and no one fully understood why. Ashar and his father arrived at the bead workshop. Inside, craftsmen sat cross-legged beside small furnaces. Carnelian stones glowed red in the firelight. One worker carefully drilled tiny holes through stone beads using specialized tools so precise that modern archaeologists were stunned when they discovered them. The craftsmanship of the Indus people rivaled civilizations separated by thousands of years. Ashar's father traded beads to merchants traveling west. Business had once been excellent. Now caravans arrived less frequently. Trade routes were becoming dangerous. Droughts had struck regions farther east. Some villages were abandoned. Rumors spread of unrest across the land. Ashar sat near the workshop entrance while his father negotiated with a trader from the coast. The trader looked exhausted. 3 ports reported empty warehouses, the trader whispered. His father frowned. Because of flooding? The trader hesitated. Because people are leaving. That answer lingered in the air like smoke. People are leaving. The words felt impossible. Who would leave Mohenjo-Daro? This city contained everything. Bathhouses, markets, craft workshops, wide streets, public wells, massive granaries. At the heart of the city stood the Great Bath, one of the ancient world's most astonishing structures. A giant waterproof pool built with carefully fitted bricks and bitumen. No one knows exactly how it was used. Religious ceremonies, purification rituals, political gatherings? The truth vanished with the civilization itself. That mystery is one reason the Indus civilization fascinates historians today. Unlike Egypt or Mesopotamia, the Indus script remains undeciphered. Thousands of symbols have been discovered on seals and artifacts, but no one has fully translated them. The people left cities, tools, jewelry, toys, skeletons, art, yet their written words remain silent. It is one of archaeology's greatest unsolved mysteries. Ashar often wondered what secrets lived inside those symbols. He had seen merchants stamp clay seals with strange animal markings, unicorn-like creatures, bulls, elephants, tigers. Each seal carried tiny inscriptions no larger than a finger. His mother once told him the symbols contained power. His father called them records. Priests claimed they connected humanity to the divine. No one agreed. And perhaps that was the point. As the sun climbed higher, heat flooded the city. Workers carried baskets of grain. Children chased one another through alleyways. Women gathered around public wells, discussing rumors in worried voices. Ashar noticed soldiers near the western gate. That alone frightened him. The Indus civilization showed surprisingly little evidence of warfare compared to other ancient societies. Archaeologists have discovered relatively few weapons, few massive palaces, few monuments celebrating kings or military conquest, no gigantic statues proclaiming the glory of emperors. For decades, historians debated why. Was the civilization unusually peaceful? Was power distributed differently? Did merchants hold more influence than warriors? The answers remain uncertain. But something about the Indus world feels different from many ancient empires, less obsessed with domination, more focused on organization, on systems, on stability. And stability was now beginning to crack. That evening, Ashar climbed to the roof again. The sunset painted the city red. Far away, thunder rolled across the horizon. His grandmother sat nearby, weaving cotton thread. She had lived through great floods before. She rarely feared anything. But tonight, her eyes remained fixed on the river. "When I was young," she said softly, "the water sang differently." Ashar looked at her. "The river speaks?" She nodded. "All rivers speak. Most people forget how to listen." A warm wind swept across the rooftops. In the distance, lightning flashed. His grandmother continued weaving. "Our people believe cities are permanent, but the earth does not care about cities." That night, the storm arrived. Rain hammered the rooftops. Thunder shook the walls. Ashar awoke to shouting. Water rushed through the streets. The drains overflowed. People ran carrying children and supplies. The river had breached its banks again. Flooding was nothing new in the Indus world. Excavations at Mohenjo-Daro reveal evidence of repeated flood layers buried beneath the city. Over generations, residents rebuilt again and again. They raised streets, constructed new walls, adapted, survived. But resilience has limits. Ashar followed his father into waist-deep water. Torches flickered in the darkness. The current carried broken baskets, pottery, and pieces of wood through the streets. Cries echoed from every direction. At the Great Bath, dozens gathered on elevated platforms, waiting for the waters to recede. Ashar watched fear spread across faces illuminated by lightning. For the first time in his life, the city looked fragile. Not eternal, not invincible. Human. By morning, the floodwaters slowly withdrew. Mud covered the streets. Several homes collapsed. Storage buildings were damaged, and whispers spread rapidly through the city. Some families planned to leave, travel east, find safer lands.
His father tried to remain calm, but Ashar noticed him staring longer at the horizon each day. Weeks later, traders brought darker news. Other cities were struggling too. Harappa, Dholavira, Ganariwala. Settlements across the vast civilization faced environmental changes. Some rivers weakened, others shifted course entirely. Modern climate studies suggest prolonged droughts may have devastated agricultural systems. Monsoon patterns changed, water sources became unreliable, trade networks weakened, and slowly, over generations, one of Earth's greatest urban civilizations began to fragment. Not necessarily through sudden invasion, not because of a single war, but through environmental collapse, migration, economic disruption, and the slow pressure of survival. Civilizations do not always die dramatically. Sometimes they fade, like embers cooling in darkness. Ashar did not understand history. He only understood that adults had begun speaking in whispers. One evening, his father returned home carrying travel bags. His mother froze. "We're leaving?" she asked. His father nodded slowly. "For now." The room fell silent. Outside, the city continued breathing. People laughed. Carts rolled across brick roads. Dogs barked. Life continued. Yet beneath it all, something ancient was already breaking apart. Ashar climbed to the roof one final time before dawn. The city stretched before him beneath fading stars. Mohenjo-Daro, one of humanity's first great cities, a marvel of engineering, a masterpiece of planning, a place that future civilizations would forget entirely. He wondered if the city would remember him after he left, or if the river would erase everything. Thousands of years later, archaeologists uncovered streets still bearing the marks of ancient wheels. Skeletons remained where they had fallen. Children's toys emerged from the dirt. Dice, jewelry, pottery, tiny figurines, evidence of ordinary lives interrupted by history. And perhaps that is what makes the Indus civilization so haunting. Not simply its mystery, but its humanity. These were real people. They laughed, traded, fell in love, raised children, built cities, solved problems, dreamed about the future. And then, somehow, the future forgot them. Yet the river remembered. The river remembered everything. For centuries, local villagers unknowingly carried bricks from ancient ruins to build new homes and railroads. Massive sections of Indus cities disappeared before archaeologists realized what had been lost. Entire chapters of human history were nearly destroyed without anyone understanding their significance. When serious excavations finally began during the early 20th century, historians were stunned. Until then, many believed the world's earliest major civilizations centered mainly around Egypt and Mesopotamia. But the discoveries at Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro changed history forever. Suddenly, humanity's ancient story became far larger, far more interconnected. The Indus civilization covered an enormous area, larger than ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia combined at their peak. Its influence stretched across parts of modern Pakistan, northwest India, and beyond. Thousands of settlements existed within its network. Some were giant urban centers, others were small farming villages. Together, they formed one of the largest Bronze Age civilizations on Earth. And yet, unlike Egypt's pyramids or Mesopotamia's royal tombs, the Indus civilization left behind few obvious rulers. No confirmed kings, no grand royal palaces, no giant monuments celebrating military victories. It remains one of history's greatest puzzles. Who governed these cities? How was such enormous coordination achieved? Why were their sanitation systems so advanced? Why did their writing system disappear? And what truly caused their decline? Even now, scholars continue debating these questions. The mystery itself has become part of the civilization's legend. Back in the ancient city, Ashar's family joined a caravan leaving Mohenjo-Daro. Ox carts creaked beneath heavy supplies. Children cried. Dust rose into the burning sky. As they traveled eastward, Ashar looked back one final time. The city stood silent beside the river, beautiful, ordered, vulnerable. He did not know future generations would one day dig through those ruins, searching desperately for answers. He did not know historians would argue about his people thousands of years later. He did not know the civilization would become one of archaeology's greatest enigmas. To him, it was simply home, and home was disappearing behind the horizon. The caravan moved onward beneath the endless sky. The river flowed beside them, watching, remembering, waiting. And somewhere beneath the sands of time, the lost cities of the Indus continued sleeping for 4,000 years, until the modern world finally began listening to the whispers buried in the dust. This was only the beginning of the story, because the deeper archaeologists dug into the ruins of the Indus Valley Civilization, the stranger the mystery became. Entire neighborhoods appeared astonishingly modern. Some homes contained private bathing areas connected to drainage systems. Public sanitation infrastructure existed on a scale almost unimaginable for the Bronze Age. Standardized weights suggested sophisticated trade regulation. Dockyards hinted at maritime commerce across vast distances, and everywhere investigators found evidence of precision. Precision in architecture, precision in engineering, precision in craftsmanship. It was as though an invisible system connected everything. But then came the greatest mystery of all. Why did such a powerful civilization vanish? Theories exploded across the academic world. Some blamed climate catastrophe, others pointed towards shifting rivers, some proposed economic collapse, others believed migrations transformed the region gradually over centuries. For a long time, one controversial theory claimed invading armies destroyed the civilization, but evidence for massive conquest remains weak. the truth appears far more complicated and perhaps more unsettling, because the fall of the Indus civilization may resemble the dangers facing modern societies today: environmental instability, water crises, trade disruption, urban stress, population movement, systems under pressure. The ancient world suddenly feels very modern, and that realization continues haunting archaeologists, historians, and scientists alike. The story of the Indus Valley Civilization is not merely about the past, it is also a warning from the deep history of humanity itself. Civilizations rise, civilizations innovate, civilizations believe they are permanent. Then rivers change, climates shift, trade collapses, and even the greatest cities can disappear beneath silence. Yet somehow, through broken bricks and forgotten symbols, the people of the Indus still speak to us, not with readable words, but through the echoes of what they built. The river remembered, and now the world remembers too.